Once, in a desolate village lying on the outskirts of a forgotten land, there lived a man whose soul had succumbed to darkness. Obsessed with unlocking the secrets of life and death, he delved deep into forbidden knowledge, seeking to manipulate the balance of existence itself. The villagers whispered of his unholy experiments, warning their children to steer clear of his secluded abode. As days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the man's research grew more sinister. The walls of his home were adorned with strange symbols, written in blood ink and pulsating with an eerie energy. Among these symbols, a design emerged, binding the spirit of the dead to the remains of animated skeletons. In his twisted imagination, he envisioned an army of skeletal warriors, bound to his will, capable of unleashing chaos upon the realm. Driven by an insatiable hunger for power, the man scoured the nearby graveyards, stealing the bones of the departed. Under the cloak of night, he meticulously assembled the fragments, completing the eerie puzzles of ancient lives. Fueled by a dark blend of necromancy and his own wicked intellect, he harnessed the very essence of decay and corruption to reanimate the lifeless cadavers. Soon, the village was shrouded in an eerie silence, broken only by the faint sound of bone rattling against bone. The once serene streets became a haunting dance floor for the undead inhabitants, their empty eye sockets glowing with malevolence. Animated skeletons emerged from their crypts, drawn to the man's unholy work, eager to carry out his sinister commands. The villagers trembled as the skeletal abominations wandered through the night, casting long, sinister shadows. Fingers made of bone clutched rusted swords, their armor fashioned from elements of forgotten battles. Each step they took echoed the desperation of lost souls, imprisoned within their bony vessels. Horror painted the skies, and darkness blanketed the land as the nightmare unfolded. The man's greed pushed him further, his intentions no longer satisfied with his own unholy army. He set his sights on conquering the world, his animated skeletons at the vanguard of his malevolent crusade. Within the deepest recesses of his madness, the man had overlooked the price he would ultimately pay. For his restless creations held no loyalty, no allegiance to the wicked soul that had forged them. They became an uncontrollable force, laying waste to towns and cities, ripping the life from anyone in their path. The skeletons, once lifeless, had turned into a cataclysmic force of destruction, devoid of remorse and driven by an insatiable hunger for souls. As the man looked upon the devastation he had wrought, a cold realization gripped his soul. He had underestimated the forces he had meddled with, unleashing a power greater than his ability to control. Bound by his own arrogance, he became powerless against the very entities he had set loose upon the world, and the darkness that once flooded his heart now consumed him whole. Amongst the chaos and despair, a glimmer of hope flickered in the hearts of a few brave individuals who refused to succumb to the shadows. They forged alliances, banding together to resist the skeletal menace that had overrun their once peaceful existence. With weapons forged from blessed silver and ancient incantations sung with desperate determination, they dared to stand against the armies of bone and darkness. A ferocious battle ensued, the clash of steel against bone echoing through the night. The defenders fought with valor, their souls ablaze with the determination to reclaim their lives from the clutches of evil. But the animated skeletons proved relentless, their eerie resilience pushing the limits of human endurance. As the violence escalated, the line between life and death blurred, and the boundaries separating the realm of the living and the realm of the forgotten began to weaken. The veil of reality itself grew fragile, exposing glimpses of dreadful specters and tortured souls trapped in eternal torment. In the midst of this nightmarish struggle, one among the defenders exhibited unwavering resolve and a unique affinity for the spirits that lingered in the ether. She possessed an ancient bloodline, a lineage intertwined with the supernatural. With a touch that could banish or befriend, she harnessed the power of her ancestors to commune with the spirits and guide them towards salvation. Whispered secrets and forgotten incantations were passed down to her through whispers, in the wind and visions in her dreams. She weaved her way through the chaos, calling upon the spirits to aid her in battle. The ethereal beings recognized her connection and willingly lent their power, imbuing her with an otherworldly strength. Together, she and her allies set forth, pushing back the horde of animated skeletons and undoing the dark sorcery that bound them. They fought with a fervor fueled by the determination to restore harmony and peace to their ravaged land. But darkness endures, lurking patiently in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to seize control. The animated skeletons, though driven back for now, regrouped in the deepest recesses of their master's lair, with their inexorable fury burning deep within their hollowed chests. They awaited their chance to strike once more, in the land touched by shadows, where every step is fraught with danger and every breath tinged with despair. The fate of the fragile existence rested on the shoulders of these courageous few. The woman and her allies stand defiant, ready to face whatever horrors may emerge from the dark depths. In the heart of the desecrated village, the man who had once sought to manipulate the very fabric of life cowered in his hideaway, consumed by fear and regret. Shadows danced around him, taunting his feeble attempts at redemption. The weight of his transgressions pressed heavily upon his soul, chipping away at his sanity with each passing moment. Desperation gnarled his features as he searched for a flicker of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. The man's eyes settled on a long-forgotten tome, its pages yellowed and frayed, hidden among a pile of discarded experiments. Within its ancient text, a revelation awaited, a forbidden ritual capable of wielding the power of animated skeletons, but with a twist that could spell salvation or doom. Driven by his last chance at redemption, the man embarked on a path paved with dread. With trembling hands, he collected an assortment of uncommon ingredients, rare herbs, moonlit dewdrops, and a strand of hair plucked from within the grasp of a reaper's bony fingers. As he meticulously arranged the ritualistic circle, he channeled all of his remorse, weaving it into the fabric of a plea for redemption. With a heart trembling at the precipice of madness, the man spilled his own blood upon the sacred symbols, invoking an ancient incantation with faltering whispers. The air grew heavy, thick with anticipation, as the ritual reached its crescendo. Beads of perspiration dripped from the man's brow, intermingling with the rivulet of crimson that flowed from his hand. A sudden burst of light erupted from the center of the circle, illuminating the man's tortured face. As the brilliance subsided, a figure emerged, a spectral manifestation of the tortured souls that had been lost to the skeletal abominations. The ethereal presence gazed upon the man with eyes drowning in sorrow, yet imbued with a glimmer of forgiveness. A pact was struck, a sliver of hope in the darkened abyss. The spirits, bound to their animated skeletons, offered the man a path toward redemption and a chance to rectify the horrors he had unleashed. In exchange for their freedom, they would assist in undoing the dark magic that held them captive and sever the master-slave bond between them and the animated skeletons. With the specter's guidance, the man embarked on a perilous journey, traversing treacherous territories where time seemed to unravel and the laws of nature bend at their whim. Along their path, they encountered horrific beings lurking in the shadows, creatures born of twisted nightmares and ill-fated souls. The line between the living and the dead blurred, their worlds intermingling as they wove through a labyrinth of anguish and despair. Each confrontation cast them deeper into the abyss of their own fears, Battles were fought, sacrifices were made, and the man's remorse grew with each passing trial. The spirits whispered ancient chants, their voices echoing like forgotten hymns, guiding him towards an ultimate showdown with the insidious force that had turned skeletons into instruments of malevolence. In the heart-wrenching climax of the tale, the man and the spirits faced their ultimate adversary, a malevolent force lurking in the depths of a crumbling citadel, where shadows danced with glee. The animated skeletons, now aware of their puppeteer's wavering resolve, turned upon their former master, their empty sockets glowing with fury. A cataclysmic battle ensued, a clash of spectral wails and bone against bone. Darkness and light intertwined, casting an otherworldly glow upon the grotesque blow. The man, fueled by guilt and an unwavering determination for redemption, fought with every ounce of strength within his fragile frame. With each adversary vanquished, the spirits liberated from their skeletal prisons. The freed souls soared into the ethereal plane, leaving streams of shimmering light in their wake. The animated skeletons, now devoid of the malevolent force that controlled them, fell to the ground, their bones crumbling into a mound of dust. As the dust settled, the man stood amidst the rubble of his twisted ambition, his eyes fixated on the fragmented remains of the animated skeletons, a grim reminder of the havoc he had wrought. Amidst the ruin, the spirits returned, their ethereal forms encircling him, casting an aura of forgiveness and redemption. With tears streaming down his face, the man vowed to dedicate the remainder of his existence to restoring what he had destroyed. He erected a memorial to honor the lives lost and the price paid for his arrogance, a constant reminder of the darkness he had unleashed and the courage it took to confront it. The villagers, awestruck by the transformation of the once obsessed man, slowly emerged from their hidden corners. They witnessed the remnants of the battle that had unfolded, witnessing the triumph of light over darkness. Grateful and with hearts trembling, they stepped forward, offering forgiveness and a chance at redemption. The village began the arduous process of healing, piecing together fragments of shattered lives. The spirits, now guardians of light, watched over them, offering solace and protection. The tale of the animated skeletons, born of twisted ambition and wicked desires, etched itself into the collective memory of the land, a cautionary reminder of the consequences one faces when meddling with powers beyond mortal comprehension. And so, as day and night continued their timeless dance, the village stood as a testament to the strength of the human spirit, the journey from despair to redemption, and the eternal struggle between the forces of darkness and an unyielding light.